Buying a house in Colorado Springs just might get harder than it has ever been in the past. Just when we thought we were going to get out of the crazy frenzy from COVID-19, now we're going to be facing some new challenges for home buyers in 2023 and potentially 2024. So today we're going to go over all that and more, so stick with me. What's up guys, my name is Iris. Welcome to the channel, welcome back. And if this is your first time here, I'm always posting videos about what it's like to live in Colorado Springs, what it's like to buy a house in Colorado Springs, and all of the Colorado Springs housing market. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you are subscribed. And if you need help with your real estate ventures, please make sure to reach out. I'm happy to help you, call, text, or email. But today I wanted to bring up a very serious point about how buyers might have more challenges coming forward here in the next coming months. Nobody is talking about this, and I kind of hesitated because I wasn't sure if I should bring it up or not because no one else is talking about it, but maybe we can bring more awareness to the fact that there is a lawsuit going on, and it is between the National Association of Realtors and a group of sellers that got together, and they're tired of paying buyer agent fees. So normally when you go to buy a house, buyers don't usually pay anything out of pocket. They don't pay their agent to sell them the house or for those services. So oftentimes buyer agents like me, because I work with a lot of buyers, we tend to work for free. We don't get paid until we actually close or sell a house. So, people see us and they're like, oh, these real estate agents, they make so much money, but they don't see the backside or the behind the scenes where we're showing house after house after house and buyers aren't buying, or they tend to go buy with a different agent because they clicked on Zillow and they clicked, and schedule an appointment. And all that's great if you need immediate service and you need to get into a house and find something quick. But when you're working with a real estate agent who has been showing you homes and spending hours and hours and tons of gas on showing you property, and then you go with a different agent, that first agent is not going to get paid. And so that's why we have buyers sign agreements. And we'll get into that a little bit later in this video. A lot of times we are working for free until we get paid, and then the seller, their agent, pays our fee. So basically, in a nutshell, the seller agrees to pay a certain amount for a listing agent to sell that property. That listing agent actually takes that money and shares it with the buyer's agent, because maybe I have a buyer, then we can work together. I represent the buyer, and the buyer, we go through this whole 3 to 5 week process of going through inspections and appraisals and coaching and guiding these buyers to buy this really expensive home. You want to have representation. But now, since sellers are not wanting to pay for the buyer agent fee, which I can understand, it's like, they're starting to feel like the client should be paying their agent to help them, right? However, it's become an issue, and in October, there is going to be this trial for these issues. Sellers don't want to pay buyer agents. They don't want to feel like they're forced, even though they're not forced. So what could be happening now is that the buyers have to pay the buyer's agent to represent them, and they have to, come together on agreed upon price, and that's all in the listing agreement with the buyer and the agent that is representing that buyer. Otherwise, the buyer is going to be buying a listing from a seller that is being represented by a listing agent, and that listing agent works for the seller. So if you think that you're going to get a deal, or you think that you're going to come out on top because you are buying straight from the listing agent, well, let me tell you that you have no representation. You're going in there without a shield, without guidance, without coaching. You're not going to know what's going to be good or bad for a situation. You'll just be left to the gift of gab from the listing agent and the seller. So to me, that's like throwing yourself out to the wolves. If people didn't trust real estate agents now, can you imagine not having anybody to fight for you? Fight for your earnest money, fight for the price. And you might be a good negotiator. You might not need a real estate agent. Maybe you have a background in sales where you can negotiate and you know the ropes, essentially, and you can do that on your own. But when I work with first-time home buyers, 99% of them have no idea what to do. They have no idea what to expect, And that's why we get all these complaints that agents don't want to communicate. They don't communicate as much, as often. So imagine having to do it all on your own. It's not, I mean, it's a very simple process, and you have title to help you do everything, but there's a lot of crying involved. And I've worked with clients where there's crying, the seller is being difficult, they don't want to fix items that are broken in the house, they don't know the real estate law, the buyer doesn't know the real estate law, and so you have I can just see this being so ugly. So if this law does pass where, sellers stop paying buyer agent commissions, then the buyer's going to have to pay it. It's going to cost the buyer even more to buy a house because now you're paying commissions on top of closing costs, on top of the for sale price of the home. So, I mean, it can get pretty crazy. So we'll see what happens. I will keep you guys updated if you want me to. We'll see, depending on how many views and comments this video gets, if people are even interested or caring to know more about how this whole thing progresses. Like in other countries, this is actually a normal thing where the buyer pays the commission for the buyer's agent and the seller pays the selling agent. Or the buyer just has full trust in the listing agent and the listing side team to be able to transfer that property the right way and with integrity. So this is where signing the exclusive right to buy in Colorado comes in, because that's going to be our security to be able to make sure that, we're showing you all these homes and that you're committed to us just as much as we're committed to you. And technically, legally, an agent should not be advising you unless you have this signed agreement. There's a lot of real estate agents that will show property and coach and give advice on all these different things when it comes to the house. It's actually not allowed and shouldn't be happening. What should be happening is that this real estate agent is just giving you information and not advising. So not answering should I questions. Should I make an offer on this property? If you don't have an exclusive right to buy with this agent, then they shouldn't be telling you or advising you how much you should offer on a property, how you can negotiate these things. So anyway, long story for that, but I just wanted to give everyone an update about this. I feel like you guys are just getting the raw end of the deal here in these last couple years, I'd say. So if you need help with your real estate ventures, please feel free to reach out. You can call, text, or email me, and I'll see you on the next video. You can watch the one popping up next on the screen, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.